Hello, my name is Luke DeFiore, and today we will be debating the Americans with Disabilities Act. The Americans with Disability Act is a civil rights law that prohibits discrimination against individuals with disabilities in all areas of public life, including jobs, schools, transportation, and all public-private places that are open to the general public. Please welcome the state and the national side. Okay.
Another reason that the ADA is excessively burdensome on state governments is that the ADA claims to help people with disabilities, but find jobs and gain equal pay, but has actually failed to do so. An MIT study found that employment of disabled men ages 21 to 58 has declined after the ADA went into effect, and the same has occurred for women ages 21 to 39.
20 seconds.
Okay, according to Newsweek.com, currently about 60% of Americans with disabilities are unemployed, so the ADA hasn't actually helped with employment rates. Also, according to NBER.org, the authors find that the ADA has no effect on the wages of disabled workers, which are still approximately 40% below those of the non-disabled.
And now for the national government's arguments. You have 2 minutes
The
remaining.
Americans with Disability Act is a necessary action taken by the federal governments. Many people with disabilities were not in the workforce because they were discriminated since they didn't have equal opportunities in employment. In our research, the total percentage of people with disabilities was about 13% unemployment rate, and with people who had no disabilities had a percentage of 7% unemployment rate. Now, employees must provide qualified individuals with disabilities an equal opportunity to benefit from the full range of employment-related opportunities available to others. Another necessary action taken by the federal government is transportation. Public transportation enables those with disabilities an opportunity that they might not have had otherwise. Some equipment that is needed when those with disabilities need are lifts, secure seatbelts for those in wheelchairs when riding buses or shuttles.
And now the other side of the state's arguments. You have 2 minutes.
Okay. States also argue with the American Disabilities Act that people with certain disabilities shouldn't always be entitled to special privileges because sometimes they aren't as qualified to certain jobs as opposed to other applications. And the 14th Amendment states all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction therefore are citizens of the United States and states within they reside. No state shall be enforced any laws which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property, without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of laws. This means no person should have special privileges because a person in a wheelchair might not be as qualified as a person that does not have a wheelchair because they have a wheelchair.
This act was necessary to prevent disabled citizens from being discriminated against by implementing government services. Some government services are handicap permits for parking and implementing special parking spaces for the disabled in public places. Another act to help end discrimination will be putting in other services to help with daily lives, such as ramps, wheelchair access, and automatic doors. These will help disabled people become more productive in their daily lives and in daily society.
I have 2 questions for the national side of this argument. Number 1 being, how do you suppose the ADA is increasing employment concerning people with disabilities? And number 2 being, how does the ADA plan on funding itself?
In the future, the ADA will fund the programs by tax credits and federal grants.
My question is, your argument is that everyone should be equal and you have the same liberties. However, does that prove any point that people with disabilities shouldn't be treated specially over anyone else?
These services will help make handicapped people more equal to those without disabilities. as said in the 14th Amendment.
How can not implementing this mandate positively affect our future society?
This will positively affect our society because if we are not requiring to build elevators and buildings, then it will help address another issue of America, which is obesity, people will then have to take stairs.
How much money do you feel like these actions will be? If it is too much, how much more money do you need in order to cover the cost?
We are unsure about how much it will cost, but according to past experiences, employers have had to pay more than $174 million in EEOC settlements over ADA complaints, not counting administrative costs and legal fees. So all in all, it will end up being very expensive.